this is my Shedinja deck. This deck revolves around Shedinja's Hopeless Scream attack. This attack does 50 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. And let me tell you, it can get pretty high in the damage with this deck. Pretty high. The focus of the deck is just to get that Hopeless Scream going with 150, 200 damage, so you can one-shot everything, and that's the goal. And get that out as quickly as possible. There are a lot, and everything is there to help support that. So what we have to do that is we use this Nakata here, and automatically it has an attack that does 10 damage to itself for 1 energy right off the bat. So that helps immensely. Now that doesn't, I don't think, help a lot in the middle of the game, but in the beginning, that's your first card out. You can just use Slight Intrusion and hit yourself for that 10 damage and get going. And I run a 2/2 line, or 3/2 line of Floette. Why do I want a 3/2 line? Because this is a very important card, and I need this card for this deck to work and to really get the heavy damage. So for each of my grass Pokemon in play gets 20 more HP for every Floette on the field. So I'll have 2, I guess. On a best case scenario, I have 2 of these guys out. And so my Shedinja now has 20 plus 20, 40 plus 70 HP out. That is a lot of damage potential, if you ask me. 70 HP on a Shedinja. It's a lot. And that's why I run 3/2/2 in 2 line of that, because, you know, it's important, very important. And I run a Diglett and a Dugtrio line. What do I run this Dugtrio for? What makes this Dugtrio so important to the deck is its Earthquake attack. It does 10 damage to the bench. So if I have a couple Nakatas on the, you want as many Nakatas on the bench as you can put on the bench. You want 3 on the bench. You know, best case scenario, you want 3 on the bench, 1 on the and you want 2 Floettes and 3 on the bench, and then you can Earthquake, and then get that damage on the Shedinja when you need it. And then that's what he's for, with the Earthquake. So, and then also the Earthquake isn't a bad move either. It's 1 energy, 60 damage. You know what I'm saying? 1 energy, 60 damage. So you'll be knocking out some Pokemon while you're at it too. So with that alone, but your main goal is to get that to retreat. And it's only got 1 retreat cost too, so that always helps. And I run 2 Hitmonlee, 1 retreat cost. Mainly I use this guy. You know, I just use it for the stretch kick, just to, you know, kind of mess with the opponent and stretch kick the bench damage. Man, never underestimate base damage. I always like bench damage. And then I won a 4/3 line Shedinja. You know, you could go 4/4. I don't really see why it matters. And then, you know, you got your standard trainers here: Crushing Hammer, Escape Ropes, Evosodas. Now, a difference here. I run 3 level balls. I run 3 level balls because I can get any of my Pokemon out with a level ball. Any of them. All of my Pokemon I can find with a level ball. And you can get a Dugtrio, Nakata, Shedinja, Floette, whatever you wanted. Hitmonlee, whatever you wanted. You can get it right there. Fresher's Letter to get the energies. Trainer's Mail, just to get the items I need, and Burst Seeker if I need it. And another important card of the deck is Team Magma's Secret Base. And whenever any player puts a basic Pokemon except for Team Magma from his or her hand onto his bench. You put 2 damage counters on the Pokemon. And then what this does is it just cooks the Nakatas and gets them ready. And then say I use an Earthquake. During that time I played, now he has 30 damage, and now he's, you know, ready to go, and I have Floettes on the field, and then this dude's doing 150, 200 damage right there. So he can take out those EXs, no problem. And then also run this stadium, because you don't always want to be cooking your Pokemon all the time. So each one, stage 1 and stage 2 Pokemon get plus 30 HP. So, not that it matters at this point, but your Shedinja is going to have 100 HP. You know, it's going to take a bit to even, well, not really a bit, because you're going to have a lot of damage counters on it, but, you know, you get the idea. I think this is mainly just there to protect my Floettes and my Dugtrios from easy knockouts. This is really nothing to do with the Shedinja, so don't worry about too much with the Shedinja. And then 2 Korinas to get those level balls and Evo Sodas. And, really, I don't know why I run 2 Evo Sodas. I could just use it low, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And I run Lysanders. It's an offensive deck, so I run 2 Lysanders. 2 Professor Birches, 2 Professor Sycamores. That's usually what I like to do. And I run this one here. I do like this draw supporter as well. I think she's a good draw supporter. Just if you don't, you know, want to mess with your hand too much, and you just put back in your deck, gets you one more card than a Birch. And a lot of heavy draw support in this deck. I mean, I have a lot of draw support, as you can see. So I'm constantly drawing cards. And that's what you want to be doing. Because you got a lot of Pokemon up there, and you kind of need them all. And I run this guy, I don't know why, but he's just there to mess with the opponent. And I do run a Hard Charm. I run a Hard Charm and a Muscle Band, just in case that extra damage or less damage will help me. I run 3 Rainbow Energies so I can get that. This is specifically for the Shedinja, so I can get that Shedinja with the Rainbow Energy and use that to get the damage counter I need. And I can get that extra 50 damage with the Rainbow Energy if I need the extra 50 damage. So that's why I run the Rainbow Energy. I run 5 Fighting Energies for the Dugtrio and the Hitmonlee, and you can also attach the Fighting Energy to the Shedinja, it doesn't matter. And I don't run any switches because none of my Pokemon have high retreat costs. And none of my Pokemon have high retreat costs. So, no. Well, I guess I do run Escape Rope, but that's not necessarily for switching reasons. It's more or less just to mess with the opponent. And then I have well, anyway, I run 2 Grass Energies, and the 2 Grass Energies are there to be used with Shedinja for the Cursed Rain. For the Cursed Rain ability, attack. And then, you know, I could switch it with one of my bench Pokemon, you know, for some reason if I ever wanted to do that. I think I've done it a couple times. So, it's something to think about with the deck. So, the whole purpose of the deck is just to get Shedinja with the Hopeless Scream up. And then, yeah, sometimes you're going to run into situations where you can't use Earthquake because you're going to knock out your Nakatas or your Shedinjas or your Floettes. So, you know, there is a limit, but I never really found that the Floettes would, you know, by the time you get those Floettes out there anyway, these guys should be, you know. Then you have another Floette. You don't even need 2 of them. Really, just one. You just need 150, 200 damage, and you're getting that with 1 Floette. You know what I'm saying? So, you're getting 200 damage with 1 Floette. You don't really need 250, so you really just need 1 Floette anyway. So just have one of those, and just have one Flowette. You don't need both of them. I think that's kind of just pushing it. I mean, you can, but there's really no need for it. There are some Pokemon with more than 200 HP, but if you need it, you got it. So, but don't just use the second Flowette unless you need it. I have found myself using this guy a lot. Very useful with its Earthquake attack. Very quick to set up. Very powerful in the early game. And even later game when you destroy one of the other Pokemons and then they knock out your Shedinja. This guy's just a good mess arounder. Kinda, hit the bench if you need it. They switched out the Pokemon, you need the extra 30 damage. Say you did 150 here. They switched it, he can go in and knock him out next time, just to get that prize card. He's kind of there just to screw it, just to mess with the opponent, and that's what he's there for. Probably are better cards, also, I guess what's interchangeable here. These, if you want a 2-2 line, and that's fine. If you want a 3-3 line, that's fine. But, I would always suggest having these two. Having these two cards, having a Flowette or having a Flabebe, definitely is a must-have for this deck to work. Maybe you don't have to have a Duck Trio, but I think this is probably the easiest and quickest setup that you're going to be able to do damage to your own bench. And for minimal bench damage, mind you. Minimal. So, you can do whatever you want, but, I think there are other ways to go about it. But Duck Trio does a good job. Quick to set up, 1 energy. Does work, man. Does a lot of work. Probably one of the bigger stars, probably just as big a star as Shedinja. I can't explain how important this Duck Trio has been in this deck. Him only, not that great. You can probably exchange it with someone, but, he does do work every so often. But he's kind of just there, just in case things go wrong. But, his existence does give you options with that stretch kick, and that's exactly what he's there for. Options. So... And so I would say, I can round it off. The Flabebe and the Flowette are not exchangeable, and neither is the Team Magma's secret base. You need this card. So I'm gonna run 2 Team Magma secret bases. And I would definitely suggest Rainbow Energies as well. At least 3. Run at least 3 of those. I run 3. No, you can't see it, but I run 3. And I would definitely suggest level balls and Evo sodas. So there's that. And I'll show you the winning percentage of this deck. Winning percentage of this deck is, out of 47 matches, I won 24 of them. A little bit more than half. You can see, again, it's not the greatest deck in the world, but you're winning matches with it. You know what I'm saying? You're winning. You know what I'm saying? I think I did compete in an online tournament on this site. And I think I might have at least came in second or won with it. I don't know if I won, but I think I at least came in second. So, it can compete. I don't know if it can compete now. This was a while ago. But, there's probably a lot you can do to change it around now. But I think you can get the idea. Just keep the Rainbow Energy in, keep the Shedinja and the Flowette and the Magma base. And the rest is yours to change up as you want to fit the needs of its environment. And that's really all I have to say about that.